Hey guys, welcome to December. Let's get into some December astrology. We got lots to talk about starting our first few days in the month of December. This is going to be a pretty active month, you guys. We've got a lot of some pretty big and explosive things that may be coming at us throughout the course of this month. But this weekend, to get it started, we have Venus and Mercury coming into a square with Neptune. This could be breaking down some communications and some relationships. It may be a little bit difficult to get our point across. Some things could be getting lost in translation this weekend, you guys. Not a good weekend for relationship commitments, deals, negotiations, anything like that. We also have Neptune stationing direct this weekend, you guys. After quite a lengthy retrograde period, there's definitely an emphasis on Neptune and the Neptune vibes going on this weekend. We also have the Black Moon moving into an exact opposition with Saturn, which is an energy that is going to be carrying us through basically the entire month of December as well. And we have a Chiron trine going on from the Sun in Sag, trining Chiron and Aries, while the Moon's also aspecting the Chiron point. So we are, I feel like, being prepared this weekend for a journey that we are going to be going on over the course of this month of December that is going to be bringing us back into our power. So through a process of healing, purge, regeneration, transformation. Let's get into this report, you guys. Let's break down this energy for the day and this weekend and look at what might be coming at us and how may be in our best interest to navigate as we go through this period of time. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, December 2nd, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the weekend. We are going to be looking at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from an energetic perspective and seeing what this weekend may have in store for us. Just right off the bat, Friday, December 2nd, 2022, we've got some pretty significant numerology to talk about today. We are talking, not only are we talking about some significant numerology in terms of the date as it's playing out today, you guys, we also have some of the same numerology being represented through the Sabian symbol degrees of the planets today as well. So I want to start by talking about that in the context of us entering this month of December, heading towards the end of this 222 year that we have going on, and really entering the period of time where we are about to be launched in a totally new direction. This month of December, if you guys caught my December overview, is a period of rising revolutionary energy throughout the collective of humanity. It's a time of taking our power back, and it's a time of awakening to the truth of our real capabilities and not hiding from the assertiveness that we may need to exercise in order to start moving in this new direction. And coming in today, Friday, December 2nd, 2022, if you write it down, if you write the date down, I mean, we've got 12/2/222. If you add all of those together, you guys, it comes to a master number 11. We also today have the position of both the Sun and the Earth at 11 degrees of Sagittarius and Gemini in terms of the Sabian symbol placements. That is, we round up a degree when we're reading the Sabian symbols. So from a symbolic level today, the position of the Sun and the Earth are also discharging this 1111 numerology. The date itself breaks down to a number 11, which is this master number. It is about reflection. It is very much correlated to this 222 year numerology that we are in as well, which is all about, in my opinion, helping us to reconnect to our true selves on a vibrational level so that we can then begin to attract and magnetize to ourselves the mirror reflection, that which truly fills us up and matches us and supports us on like a soul level. We're talking about, divine unions, divine alignments, like soulmate type connections and stuff like that. But that can't happen. Those alignments can't come into place if our own internal vibration is out of whack, is like not calibrated to our home frequency, what it's supposed to be. If we've gotten off track based on any type of superficial ego or images or society or culture or family, or we need to be this or we need to be that to meet this expectation of this person or the ideal of this person. And, if it's pulled us out of our own personal process of self-development and self-growth and self-actualization, then a lot of times the relationships and the various aspects of our lives and even the careers and the situations that we are in, they're not going to feel fulfilling to us, and they're not going to make us happy, and we're going to feel empty, and we're going to feel depressed, and we're going to feel like we're lacking, because what we have in our life is not a reflection of what it needs to be or what it would need to be in order for us to gain that sense of true fulfillment, because we are not in alignment with our own true nature. And I feel like this 222 year, which represents this divine balance and this harmony and this fulfillment through union as a reflection of that which is real and true and authentic to us. I feel like that is what this year has been about. I feel like we've all been going through a pretty significant recalibration and realignment with our own personal, like, true and authentic preferences. This retrograde season, I feel like, has been a lot about that as well, and helping us to rediscover our personal truth so that we can align ourselves with the things that are truly meant for us, instead of aligning ourselves with the false pretenses that we've created for ourselves in order to fit a mold or whatever, like I was just saying, and therefore can never truly be a reflection of what we need. So we always, feel like empty to an extent. That is going, I feel like that is what this 222 year has been trying to break us out of in one extent. It's also been a season of karmic detox and breaking generational cycles and patterns, and helping us to graduate into a new era of our own, like, personal paradigm, really based again on this coming back in touch with our home frequency, our authentic truth, and really this recalibration process, like I said, on a frequency based level. It's all fitting together. But opening our month of December, which is the last month in this process in terms of our Gregorian calendar, at least if we're not looking at it from the natural New Year perspective, we are heading to the end of this 2022 year. And as it's setting up, of course, this 12-2-2-2-2 day breaking down to an 11, which is representing these themes and this 2-2-2 energy as well. It's the Lover's card, in the tarot. It's about this divine reflection, this divine unions, these mirrored images. And we have the position of the sun and the earth also coming to 11-11 today. So definitely themes of this entire year that have been trying to come into fruition, I feel like, being reinforced today and heading into this weekend. And again, there is a strong emphasis on relationship dynamics with Mercury and Venus, both in a conjunction right now. But in the square to Neptune today, you guys, and this is a lot of what we're going to be talking about this report. This could, again, be breaking down some communication or breaking down some relationships, those relationships that are based in that superficial reality, that are based in a lack of grounded reality, or that are a result of the old versions of ourselves that we are stepping out of now. So the relationships really that are breaking down in this energy, this is actually a good thing. If a relationship is breaking down as a result of a Neptune interference going on, it's because that relationship was lacking a level, like I said, of reality to it in one way or another, or it was based on some type of image or projection or ideal or rose-colored vision or fantasy or dream, and not based on like the actual truth of the dynamics operating behind the scenes and everything. So relationship breakdowns, quite possible in the energy today. Emphasis on relationships as well. We also have Venus and Mars in an opposition right now. Actually, yesterday we had the exact Venus-Mars opposition. So this is doing the same thing as Venus squaring Neptune. Mars in opposition to Venus, this can also bring up some real issues in relationships if, again, they are based on these more superficial, ego-based foundations in one way or another. However, if they are solid relationships that are built on this heart-based, soul-based connection and truth as a result of really being in alignment with the person that you're with, then this is a very positive aspect in terms of relationships, and it can just sort of intensify like the love and the attraction and the spark of it all. So good for relationships, actually, like any way that you slice it, whether it's removing the relationships that are not truly right for us, or just enhancing a little bit the relationships that are. So we do have that going on. But I also will say, you guys, with Venus and Mercury in the square to Neptune right now, this is not the time to be making commitments, to be making financial deals or negotiations or big purchases even of any kind. This really brings like sort of like a Mercury retrograde type feel to it when we have Mercury in square to Neptune. Things just aren't working right. Communication is breaking down. We're not on the same page. Things are getting lost in translation. Like we're not just seeing eye to eye. We're not seeing things clearly. Like we are or there's like issues communicating or issues even like sending messages. I'll tell you guys, I've been having some very big struggles myself with this Mercury square Neptune energy, not being able to like post the things I want to post or having issues with uploading and being able to communicate in the way that I want to. I've definitely been struggling a little bit with some technical issues behind the scenes over this past couple days. And I really think that it's a result of this Mercury Neptune situation that we have going on. So if you've been dealing with any type of issues like that, that may be likely what it's from as well. But another positive thing that we have going on right now, Venus is visible again. Venus is within now, or out of, I should say, this 10-degree orb of the sun where Venus was combust, our whole Scorpio cycle basically. Like that was a big thing. This is a very underworld Venus type of energy, very deep urges in terms of our desires and what we want, really looking for some root, like core truths of that which gives us value and makes us feel valuable and makes us feel desired and pleasure and, you know, what we truly, really, really want. Again, with all the superficiality of things removed, that is what this past Scorpio cycle and even heading a bit into our Sagittarius cycle with Venus combust has been trying to show us, again, right along the lines of what we have playing out today with us, you know, stepping away or stepping out of or being removed somehow from perhaps relationship dynamics that are just not suiting us on that like deep, true level anymore. But Venus becoming visible now, this should actually also have some beneficial impacts on relationships and money and like material aspects of life in one way or another. So this is kind of a positive thing that we have going on as well, with Venus emerging from the rays of the sun and being reborn, being visible again. So we have that all playing out in the energy on Friday. Now I want to talk more specifically for a minute about this Venus Mercury squaring Neptune energy that we do have really strong on Friday and to start our week this week. First of all, Neptune rules like insecurities and like deep-seated fears of loss especially and stuff like that, and it can really bring up some emotional insecurity. Of course, like I said, there is a major prominence on relationships that is going on throughout the course of this week, and actually all this month of December, Venus and Mercury are going to be traveling very closely together, and this really puts like relationships and other people sort of on the top of our mind. And with the square to Neptune, this could be like some disappointments regarding other people and stuff like that that we are navigating. Again, this is also breakdowns in communications and relationships when we have Neptune going on in square to these two planets, but it is also distorting the truth within relationships and finance as well. That's why we really want to be careful making any commitments or signing any contracts or making any deals, because there's a good chance that we are viewing transactional things of a transactional nature generally, and a relational nature and a value-based nature with Mercury and Venus in the square to Neptune in some type of distortion. So we do want to be very careful about that. Interpersonal dynamics generally are also likely to be a bit all over the place. Like I said, we could be feeling very just disappointed maybe with the state of like our social life right now. We could be feeling sort of like antisocial and like avoidant of having to do things on like an interpersonal level or like with other people. This is also energy where truth is breaking through illusions. So, you know, on one hand, we may really be finding out some things. We are talking about Mercury and Venus in the signs of Sagittarius ruling the truth. But with a square to Neptune, it's almost like the illusion or the fantasy or the ideal or the dream or the projection or the image in our mind of something like that we are holding, the way that we've been being deceived or something in some type of way is almost like more comfortable for us or easier for us to accept than maybe the truth that is also making itself known at this point in time, which could be bringing up, this desire to perhaps escape from things. Like it may just feel easier to avoid the reality that is coming to us right now, as opposed to like face the consequences that we know it means if we were to actually look at and address that truth. Like this is also something that could really be coming up in this energy, the lie or the ideal or the fantasy, a little bit like easier for us to take, and so maybe avoiding having to see the facts. People could definitely be going in this direction with things throughout the course of this weekend, a desire to hide from or avoid issues related to whatever truth we're discovering. This is also a very detached, avoidant, irrational energy. People are likely, like I said, to be hiding from and avoiding any type of difficult conversations or relationship dynamics or meetings or encounters. I feel like this could be like people like ghosting, also just like not showing up for dates or not showing up for plans, just like not hearing from somebody. This type of stuff could definitely be going on with the way that this energy is playing out again, because like I was saying, escaping into our fantasy land or our daydreams or our fantasies, easier to deal with than the truth perhaps of whatever matter might be coming up. And this energy, don't make business deals, you guys, financial deals, contracts, negotiations, relationship commitments, not likely to end well. Neptune breaks things down. It's like dissolving. It rules loss, the 12th house, Pisces energy. And when we're talking about that in the context of trying to start something new or make an agreement or an arrangement or a deal or a negotiation or a romantic connection or something like that, we may be viewing it again through these rose-colored glasses or in this fantasy or with these very high ideals and expectations and stuff like that. But the chances are that as it goes through its process of formation, it's not going to go anywhere. Like it's not going to become what we thought it would be, and it can just bring in some real disappointment as an outcome as a result. So this is not the energy where we want to be doing any of that. And also, because there is such a strong escapism tendencies with Neptune going on, and Neptune is very prominent, very dominant in the energetic field this weekend, because Neptune on Saturday, which we will talk about in a minute, is also going to be stationing direct. Whenever a planet stations and its motion in the sky, it puts a major emphasis on that planet, and it really amplifies its energy tremendously. So we're talking about a very empowered Neptune energy this weekend, and with these personal planets in the square, this could be, bringing up some urges to escape reality through overindulging in alcohol or drugs or stuff like that. So we really want to be careful of, addictive tendencies. This could also have to do with like shopping and eating as well, with Mercury and Venus together in the square to Neptune. We really want to be careful with, overindulging in things that aren't necessarily good for us. We could get a bit carried away with that. Also, with it being Sagittarius season and, Jupiter expansion and stuff like that. Just sort of want to be careful and not allow ourselves to escape into things that could, not necessarily be the most productive for our well-being. Now, I do feel like there could be some movement in things today that have felt stuck or like they've been at sort of like a standstill or a standoff for a long period of time. But again, we do want to be careful with any type of decision making that is coming up. We do also have a moon in Aries today, which is kind of lighting a little bit of a fire underneath us, inspiring us, maybe giving us a little bit of like courage or strength or, confidence in ourselves, or like assertiveness and motivation and inspiration to be able to sort of like take some action to move ourselves forward in one way or another. But again, we really want to be careful with things. Mercury, Venus, and square to Neptune, as opposed to the moon in the sign of Aries, this does break down energy levels a little bit. This can be definitely a more of a low vibe energy where it's really just hard for us to like get motivated, get our point across. But with the Aries moon coming in as well, like it is likely to be a more passionate, motivated, lively, and inspired energy that's like trying to come up within us, but this inability to communicate or to relate, or disruptions to plans, or like our like I was saying, like our plans being canceled or something like that, and not being able to like enjoy or like have the pleasure that we were expecting to, or at the execute deals the way that we wanted to effectively, like maybe frustrating us. This could be a very frustrating day because on one hand, you know, this moon in Aries really wants to kick us into action to make something happen for ourselves. But with Venus and Mercury and a square to Neptune, this is very debilitated. So that's just basically kind of what we're dealing with. Even though it might be a low vibe, irritating and annoying day though, and we may honestly feel like just disappearing for a good portion of it, it is generally this Mercury, Venus squaring Neptune, it is a more surface level aspect. This is not going to be like a long enduring aspect. By the time that we get to the end of the week, this is going to change pretty significantly as we head towards this big full moon in Gemini conjunct Mars that we have coming up. So, you know, it's just sort of like these irritations and just the stuff that we got to get through, whatever blocks or impediments that we feel like we have going on to us, understanding what's going on in our relationships or being able to communicate our point effectively or whatever. Like, it's not going to be like that as we get through this next couple days. This is just sort of like a short term in the moment thing that we are dealing with. And I am very encouraged by the numerology on Friday. Again, all of these 1111s, the position of the sun and the earth themselves, and also all of this 222 energy reinforcing the year that we are in, and, you know, this last month in the year that we are in. I do feel like this is letting us know that we are embarking upon a period of time that is really trying to like execute that plan of getting us back into that true alignment with ourselves so that we can start to experience life in more positive and fulfilling ways where we may have been lacking in various areas of our lives. But the symbolism also playing out today on Friday the 2nd is, I feel like, pretty significant and telling. And I'm going to read you guys a bunch of the Sabian symbols before we move into Saturday's energy, just because they are all like really speaking, I feel like, to where we're at right now and to where we're going. First of all, the position of the sun today, 11 degrees of Sagittarius. That Sabian symbol is the lamp of physical enlightenment at the left temple. Then we have the earth at 11 degrees of Gemini today. Newly opened lands offer the pioneer new opportunities for experience. So in the context of this numerology and these master numbers and these 1111s and these 222s, we're also talking about the lamp of physical enlightenment at the left temple, like some type of an enlightenment process that is also playing out right now in the context of trying to open us to move down a path that is presenting these new opportunities to us that are in alignment, again, with this reflection energy of the truth of our soul. So I feel like being indicated symbolically and in the numerology there. And then Mercury today, 24 degrees of Sagittarius, a bluebird standing at the door of a house. This is also talking about, you know, being on the verge of entering a phase of our reality that is going to make us very happy. And then Venus, 21 Sag, a child and a dog with borrowed eyeglasses, a shifting perspective that's going on. Mars, 19 Gemini, in a museum, a large archaic volume reveals traditional wisdom, moving forward, taking into consideration all of the experiences that we've gone through, the wisdom that we've gained, and how we're going to apply that to this newly opened land and our pioneer new experiences that were going on as we are moving on in the Sagittarius cycle, headed towards this personal revolution that's coming up through the Capricorn energy as it's approaching. We have Jupiter, 29 Pisces, light breaking into many colors as it passes through a prism, breaking down like all of the various spectrums of our experience and showing us the full picture. Things coming really full circle at this point in one way or another as well. And then Uranus is also changing degrees to 16 degrees of Taurus today. That Sabian symbol is an old teacher, fails to interest his students in traditional knowledge. So we have Mars, 19 Gemini, in a museum, large archaic volume, reveals traditional wisdom. And then Uranus, the great rectifier, the planet that is leading us on our journey into the age of Aquarius, an old teacher fails to interest his students in traditional knowledge. So again, like traditional wisdom, traditional knowledge. What lessons from the past have we learned that we are taking with us now into these new opportunities, into this new adventure that we're going on, this new pioneering our own new paradigm and our new reality that can help us in terms of coming to this place of enlightenment through the combination of the wisdom from the past and the new understanding of ourselves, the new conception of ourselves and the direction that we're going in now. So I feel like overall, the numerology and the symbolism are very, very positive in terms of describing the direction that things are headed right now and, you know, what's playing out on the more energetic level levels today, but we do still have this square going on between Venus and Mercury and Neptune. So we just want to be careful with what we are committing ourselves to in this energy. Now let's move on, you guys. Let's talk about Saturday, December 3rd. This is the day that Neptune stations direct in the sky. Neptune is about compassion. Neptune is about intuition, dreams, fantasies, ideals, but also, again, insecurities and escapism, what we want to avoid, what we want to hide from, because it makes us feel like disconnected from the more source vibrations, okay? Neptune retrograde, this period that we've been going through with Neptune having been retrograde over this period of time, has a tendency of stripping, right, these fantasies that we've had of ourselves, or these illusions that we've been holding of ourselves as well, that maybe have created these false realities that are breaking down in this energy right now, and that have clouded our vision, perhaps like of our true potential, of our true trajectory, of our true mission and our true purpose, or who we truly are. Neptune retrograde has been trying to break down any self-delusions. Like I've been saying, if you guys have been following my channel, I've been talking about how I feel like this Neptune, and specifically this Neptune in square to Mars, has been trying to break down any illusions that we've been operating under in regards to our genuine, authentic truth of ourselves and our capabilities and our talents and our potentials, and our ideas and our ability to carry forward and to create something successfully for ourselves that is coming from a very place of self-initiation with this Mars and Gemini energy. And with Neptune having been retrograde this whole period of time, I feel like it's been working to break down the illusions that we've created for ourselves and that we've been existing within. However, now that we have Neptune going direct, you guys, I feel like this is talking about, and in the square, right? In the square to Venus and Mercury, Venus specifically, actually, Venus will be an exact square to Neptune on the day that Neptune stations direct. I feel like this is actually bringing us to a period of time where we've really had to face some realities about ourselves, and maybe where we've been lying to ourselves, or where we've been kidding ourselves or fooling ourselves or deceiving ourselves in one way or another. And here we are now at this point where we are ready to start dreaming again, and we have some big dreams now, but the difference is now that they are built on a stronger basis of reality, as opposed to maybe the dreams that we had been holding for ourselves before. We have discovered through following our intuition and trusting our gut, and everything that we perhaps have gone through over this past period of time, what we need to do really in order to achieve and to turn the dreams that we have into reality. And also with Mars retrograde having been in the square to Neptune as well, and now with Neptune going direct, it's like we have a better idea of that which we can truly accomplish. So we're recalibrating what we are setting our sights on, okay? And so I feel like this is actually having a positive influence. People should be generally quite open-hearted and empathetic and compassionate. We do have a square going on to Venus as well. And even though this is a square aspect, Neptune is actually the higher octave of the Venus energy. And Venus, even in square to Neptune, has a tendency of being a pretty beautiful aspect and highly creative, highly artistic. This is really great energy for any type of creative activity, especially regarding art or music or design or anything to do with beauty or beautification, stuff like that. People should be feeling or acting pretty open-hearted in this energy. However, we also do need to keep in mind Venus in square to Neptune can also, especially with Neptune stationing direct, can also produce unattainable romantic ideals that therefore lead to some type of disappointment. Again, like I was saying about these Mercury, Venus in square to Neptune. And it's also breakdowns in these relationships that are not firmly grounded in reality or superficial in their nature or anything like that, showing us the truth of our own idealizations in some big ways. With Neptune now stationing direct in the sky, that may be another aspect of this, really seeing some things more clearly, taking off these rose-colored glasses, right? Or even with the extreme Neptune energy, this could be the beer goggles, and seeing things for what they are in the context of how we'd like them to be. This is also something that can definitely be indicated when we have Venus in the square to Neptune. But with Venus direct, you guys, in this Sag season, we have some big dreams for ourselves, cycles that we are coming to now, and the way that we are coming at them is from a much more realistic perspective. Now that we have Neptune going direct in the sky, like I said, great for art, creation of any kind, music for sure, not great, I'm reiterating again, really new relationship commitments, financial agreements, partnerships, deals, contracts, stuff like that. Watch what you buy today as well. You may regret it in the future. Be careful with big purchases. Again, this is a lot like this Mercury retrograde energy with the square to Neptune. There could also be strange Sabian symbols coming through today, you guys. And so I'm going to say this just as a result of the Sabians, and then I'll read them to you, but there could be an emphasis on China for some reason, like the country in the news today, in the context also of like freedom and revolution. Listen to the Sabian symbols of all the personal planets that we have playing out today. The sun is at 12 degrees of Sagittarius. That Sabian symbol is a flag that turns into an eagle and crows. We have the earth at 12 degrees of Gemini. That Sabian symbol is a slave girl demands her rights of her mistress. Then we have Mercury moving to 26 degrees of Sagittarius. That Sabian symbol is a flag bearer in battle. So we've got two flag symbols right there. And then Venus at 22 degrees of Sagittarius, a Chinese laundry. And then Mars retrograding back to 18 Gemini today. That Sabian symbol is two Chinese men talking Chinese. So we are looking at 5 symbols in the context of the personal planets that move pretty much every day. The sun, the earth, the moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And we've got 2 references to China. We've got 2 references to a flag. And we've got a reference to like slavery and demanding rights and demanding freedom. So freedom, you guys, demands noise, assertiveness, battle, China. And Chinese laundry, like cleaning and purifying, the flag turning into an eagle that crows, and the slave girl demanding the rights of her mistress. These are 2 symbols that are both definitely indicating freedom in its like most highest form in one way or another. And then the flag bearer in battle, this is, showing our true colors and willing to fight for it, willing to defend them. The Chinese laundry, this is cleansing and purifying. And then the Chinese men talking Chinese, this is also about conversations going on, things going back and forth, information traveling. So just very interesting. I wanted to mention that as well, as there may be something like that playing out, on a more world stage type level in the news, in the media, or, it may apply on a microcosm in some way. Freedom, demands, noise, assertiveness, battle, conversations, purifying and cleansing in one way or another. So very interesting. Also on Saturday, we do have the moon in Aries forming a square to Pluto and also coming into a trine with both Venus and Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, this fire sign trine. So we are fired up to take back our power. Now with this Neptune influence, Neptune dissolves things and breaks things down, you guys. So this is likely to be a bit of a lower energy day, just physical energy, not super active. But with an Aries moon, that really kind of counteracts that. And with the square to Pluto and the trine to both Mercury and Venus and Sagittarius, this is firing us up, you guys, to take our power back, facilitated through personal truth and the knowledge that we are gaining at this point in time. And in the context of these symbols as well, and where we're going next week with this big full moon that we have coming up, the revolutionary spirit is rising, you guys. That's what I've got to say. Let's talk about Sunday now. An interesting day Sunday. There's a lot of powerful aspects that are playing out. Powerful day for a few different reasons, but they're not the traditional aspects that we normally look at. I feel like the energy Sunday sort of has us preparing now and over these next couple of days as we head towards this big full moon conjunct Mars, which is about to launch us in this entirely new direction, very forcefully, not very gently, likely, like explosion out of a cannonball, sort of. The energy today, I feel like, or on Sunday at least, I feel like is facilitating a process that's beginning now that's representing this alchemization in alignment with a more Christ consciousness type of vibration and our higher selves that is helping us to release and transmute our own remaining darkness and more toxic attachments from the past that we're really going to be purging out and releasing ourselves from and conquering and overcoming over the course of this next several weeks. The energy Sunday, I feel like, is beginning or a part of this process and is triggering perhaps some wounds and traumas that need to be healed and alchemized and transmuted and purged and released throughout the course of this process. Now, I'm saying all of this because, like I said, we've got some very unique and interesting aspects happening together on the 4th. Now, number one, we have Mercury coming into a conjunction with the galactic center. The galactic center is located at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. This is the God source code point, like in all of the zodiac. This is where it is said that sort of like all of the galactic wisdom from all of creation, God universe kind of like emanates from, and it's like the source point where it all kind of comes out from. The galactic center is a very potent, powerful point in the zodiac, and when planets are aligning with the galactic center, there is an infusion of this Christ consciousness energy, and we have Mercury coming to this very specific point in the energy on Sunday. Now, aside from that, we also have a very Chiron dominant day going on Sunday. So we're dealing with the galactic center energy, and then we're also dealing with Chiron energy from both the sun and the moon. We have the sun in Sagittarius is going to be forming an exact trine to Chiron in the sky on Sunday, and simultaneously the moon is going to be forming an exact conjunction to the Chiron point, which is the point in the sky where Chiron was originally discovered and holds all the same themes and energetic archetypes and frequencies and all of that as Chiron himself. So we're looking at a sun trining Chiron, exact, facilitating this hero's journey energy. And we're also talking about the moon on an emotional level coming into a conjunction with the Chiron energy as well. So on, both the like external, like our spirit energy, and our internal, like our soul-based energy, there is an alignment with this hero's journey, this transmuting of states of victimhood into states of self-mastery through this process of learning and healing and release and overcoming. And Mercury at the galactic center today is facilitating this as well through this infusion of this Christ consciousness energy that we have going on. Now, we also have the black moon ruling our shadow side and our fears and our worries and our insecurities and our doubts and our deep subconscious programming that a lot of times works against our conscious desires, coming into an exact opposition in the sky with Pluto. And this is also really big. So we've got galactic center going on Sunday. We've got Chiron going on Sunday, and we've got black moon going on Sunday as well. And it's interesting because the position of the sun, you guys, on Sunday at 13 degrees of Sagittarius is a widow's past is brought to light. And then the position of the black moon, where the black moon is moving on Sunday, 27 degrees of Cancer, a violent storm in a canyon filled with expensive homes. So we're talking about things from the past coming back up, maybe that we're seeing in a new light. This could really be sparking some old, again, like wounds or traumas that are coming up. And it also could be in relation to some type of breakdown of some type of status quo or some type of established order of things in one way or another, or really disrupting a comfort zone or an expectation or an image of something in one way or another as well. And in the context of the black moon Pluto opposition and this Chiron energy as well, this could definitely be showing us something, enlightening us in some way to perhaps an initial point of wounding that caused some destruction along the course of our path in one way or another. But ultimately, you guys, this is a healing energy that's coming through, but it may be like kicking off the process of healing by really triggering or kicking up some of these more difficult wounds that we need to like acknowledge or work through. Healing journey activated in correspondence to our shadows, our fears, our projections also being activated. This is the month where we conquer those fears though, you guys. Pluto in opposition to the black moon, this is purging and overcoming and overpowering our own limitations, our own setbacks, our own self-sabotaging behaviors, our own fears, through our own personal transcendence and recognizing the truth of our own power and releasing ourselves, detaching from maybe also the pain that we've been holding on to from the past as well. A time to heal from the past, The sun, like I said, 13 Sag, a widow's past is brought to life, and we will do it greatly. The position of the earth in the context of this energy today, you guys, a world famous pianist giving a concert performance. So, the symphony, like, it's coming together, and we're going to do a great job at executing, whatever we need to do in terms of this healing journey, or this release, or this purge, or this re-empowerment, or, this overcoming our own fears. Like, we're going to do a very phenomenal job at it, but it may just be kicking up, or making us look at something that we perhaps like to hide from, or, that just is not so comfortable or really disrupts things for us in one way or another. But we also have, of course, Mercury, 27 degrees of Sagittarius today, the galactic center. The sculptor's vision is taking form. So again, things are coming together in alignment with the divine and universal blueprint and vision, and this paradigm shift and transition of ages that we're going through right now. And Venus on Sunday, 24 degrees of Sagittarius. Now she's at a bluebird standing at the door of a house. So we are entering a phase that is going to bring us a lot more joy and a lot more happiness. But, it's as an outcome, I feel like, of this revolution that we are heading towards right now, and of being able to take our power back and stand in our truth, so that we can open ourselves to receive the blue bird at the door to happiness, at the door to the heart. So we will do it greatly, you guys. We are heading in a good direction, but there is some healing that also needs to be done. Wisdom and faith are the antidote to fear and doubt today, though. Mercury at the galactic center, keeping our mind aligned with this more Christ-conscious energy frequency, with our faith, with our trust, with our hope in the divine. Jupiter is also about to be moving back into the sign of Aries, which is going to do a lot to re-inspire us in terms of our own capabilities, and to give us the confidence again, and to bring back the faith and trust and belief in ourselves, to be able to go in this new direction, to be the pioneer going out on these newly open lands, to take these new opportunities, like the position of the earth that we had on Friday. But we just can't let whatever is coming up, the widow's past brought to light, the violent storm in the canyon of expensive homes, like, we can't let whatever chaos seems to be going on, or, whatever past pains or wounds are surfacing today, to distort our ability to see ourselves from this higher perspective and in alignment with God's divine vision for us, with God, universe, and great spirit, I should say, with the galactic center and Mercury being activated as well. So that's what I have to say, you guys, for the energy this weekend. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. God, spirit, universe. What do we need to know? What advice can help us as we are navigating this weekend? Right. And it says count on God, which literally, like, that's actually what I just said. Mercury at the galactic center. We really want to try to stay in alignment with the divine vision as we go through this weekend. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Psalms 1:3. You will prosper, you will grow and expand. The law of attraction is now working for you, and you attract all those who will help you in reaching your goals spiritually and materially. You guys, how did I open this entire weekend report? I was talking about the numerology of this weekend, and these 11s and these 22s, and this last month of the 2022 year, and what this whole process I've been feeling like has been trying to do for us. And this is exactly verbatim what this card is saying, that you will grow, you will expand, you will prosper. The law of attraction is now working for you, and you attract those who will help you reach your goals spiritually and materially as a result of coming back in alignment with our true frequency that is a mirror for that which can exactly do these things for us. So count on God, you guys. We got to keep the faith. There is a very healing force and influence that is coming through this weekend. However, it may be doing that through sparking some of these wounds. And with this Mercury, Venus, and the square to Neptune, this is just an annoying energy, I feel like, you guys. But like I said, it will pass, and it is not going to be, leaving like any type of like long-term lasting impact, unless of course we are making these poor decisions and executing on them, or making these contracts or commitments and stuff with this energy going on. So we don't want to be doing that, and we will get through it, and we will have a lot different energy to talk about here coming up in this next couple of days. So That's what I have to say today, you guys, for our energy for the weekend. I hope you liked it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you maybe just a little bit of whatever can help you navigate your time this weekend. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would like this kind of astrology content and be interested in this as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I love your comments. I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I really like and enjoy and appreciate knowing how these energies are affecting you, how they're playing out for you in your own lives. Thank you guys so much for being here. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other socials in my description box below if you're into any of that. And come back with me on Monday, you guys. We will have a whole new week of astrology to talk about. And it's going to be a pretty big week. This is the week that is going to be hosting our full moon in Gemini. We're building into that all week. Actually, we start building into that in the energy on Sunday. So you might be starting to feel the intensity and the pressure and the heat now. But I'll be back on Monday, you guys. We'll have more energy to talk about. I'll be here, like I just said. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you then. Everybody have a beautiful weekend. And until next time, bye guys.